Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flow. I used 2 blocks today just to kind of hold on to a little bit, find some space to move, and let's get started. So, should you have 2 blocks or like block things to use, have one on either side of the top of your mat. And you may or may not actually use them. But we are going to start sitting down in just a nice comfortable seat. Oh, and you can close your eyes whenever you're ready. Maybe resting your hands on your knees or in your lap. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it go. Let's do that again. A nice deep breath in. Sit as tall as you possibly can. And let it go. Do that one more time. The slowest, deepest breath that you can take. Fill your body up with air. Lengthen your spine. And then let it all go. Nice, you guys. Just allow your shoulders to fall away from your ears. Breathe however feels good, with or without effort. Maybe notice if you can relax through your forehead, your cheek. And maybe we can just sit still for a moment. Scan your body right now. Where are you feeling some extra love today? Stay just another breath or two. Maybe lengthening your spine again. You can start to wiggle your fingers if you'd like. And we're just going to move them to the ground beside us. Lightly rest your fingertips on the ground. Maybe press into them a touch. And then use a nice big inhale and start to reach both of your arms out nice and wide and all the way up above you. And maybe you'll lift your chin. Maybe you'll interlace your fingers up above you. Press your palms up. Shrug your shoulders to your ears. Take a nice big inhale. And let it go. As you exhale, let your arms fall back down to your sides, or maybe your hands will end up finding the knees. If you'd like to take a shoulder roll, or 2 or 3, but you can start to open up your eyes if you want. We're going to be making our way into tabletop. So when you're ready to come on over, spread your fingers nice and wide. Once you get there, give your hips a little bit of a sway, side to side maybe. And then let's use a big inhale. Drop your belly, lift your chest, maybe your chin too. Stay here. Shine your elbow creases forwards a little bit. Take a nice big inhale, and then as you exhale, start to round the spine. Tuck your chin, squeeze your belly, push into your hands. Can you try to pull your shoulder blades away from one another? Let's use an inhale as we drop the belly back down, lift the chest, maybe the chin, but just hold it here. Turn those elbow creases forwards a little bit. Staying for another inhale, and as you exhale, round it out. Lift your belly button up. Tuck your chin, press the ground away. One more time here. Inhale to drop your belly down, lift the chest, and then as you exhale, round through the spine. Using an inhale to come back to a nice neutral place. And then let's just reach our arms out forwards in front of us. You can be on the palms or you could be lifted on the fingertips, but a little lower through the chest as you keep your hips high. Just a small puppy dog stretch. You don't have to go too far down. Feel the length through your arms. Notice what your shoulders are thinking, feeling today. And then use an inhale just to lift. Bring your hands back in under your shoulders. You can start to tuck your toes if they aren't already, and lift all the way up to your downward facing dog. Maybe start to pedal the feet slowly. Maybe a little sway through the hips. A nice smooth breath in and out. Press the ground away from you. Let's use an inhale, starting to look forward. And as you exhale, walk on up all the way to the top of your mat. Once you get there, take an inhale for just a half lift. Long spine. Exhale, we're going to fold and pause. You can widen the feet if you'd like. Your arms might be dangling down. You might sway a little or be still. But just slow on down. Give your body a chance to open up, start to relax. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Maybe a gentle press of your toes. Take just another breath here. And start to bend your knees more. Take an inhale, lift the chest just halfway. Nice long spine. Exhale to fold forwards. And then inhale, let's come all the way up to standing. Reach up, stand tall. As you exhale, you can let your arms fall down to your sides, maybe add a shoulder roll in. We're going to reach our arms up though, if you want to have the feet a little wider so you're balanced. We're going to reach the arms up, interlace the fingers and push the palms up and away. You might lift your chin. You might shrug your shoulders towards your ears. You might press your toes into the ground a little bit more too. Just standing nice and tall, nice and active, all the way from the feet, pressing into the ground to the palms, pressing up and away above you. Stay for a nice inhale. And as you exhale, let's fold. You can release your arms down. Fold all the way forwards. Inhale for a half lift. As you exhale, fold. Let's plant our hands, step on back into downward facing dog. Press into the hands. Maybe pedal through the feet. And then let's bring our feet together. Our right foot's gonna lift up. You can lift that foot as high as you want. You can bend the knee or keep the leg straight. You don't have to lift the foot either, but push into your hands. Maybe you're trying to turn the belly button to shine to the right side and bend that knee. Breathe. Nice big inhale if you've got that foot lifted, and use the exhale to gently place it down. When you're ready to switch sides, inhale that left foot up any amount, if at all. Press into the hands, maybe bending the leg, let it get a little heavier. Shine the belly button to the left side this time if you'd like. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale if you've got that foot lifted, and use the exhale to place it down. Let an inhale bring your gaze forwards, and exhale, walk on up to the top of your mat. Once you get there, inhale for a half lift. And as you exhale, fold. We're pausing in our forward fold again. Widen the stance to whatever you would like. Bend the knees, maybe sway, but just breathe. Let your upper body be heavy. Try to create space in the low back. We'll stay for just another breath or two. And then you can bend your knees again. Take an inhale for a half lift. Nice long spine. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, coming all the way up, reach up. Now we're going to interlace our fingers now and reach the arms up and stay standing. If you want to widen the feet at all, go ahead, but find your balance. Maybe you're lifting the chin, looking up, maybe a little shrug of the shoulders. And then if you want to take a little tip over towards the left side, continue to push the palms up and away. Continue to shrug the shoulders to the ears a little bit. Press into the feet. Use an inhale to come back through center. And you can tip over towards the right side if you'd like. Maybe push into the toes. Let them help you balance. Find that side body stretch. And then use an inhale to come back up, reset, keep those arms lifted, just another nice big inhale. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale into a half lift. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Now we're going to take our left foot, just our left foot back and into a lunge, and our knee is going to come down. So I'm going to grab my blocks now. You don't have to hold on to anything. They're just something to hold on to. So we're setting up a lunge, sinking those hips forwards. The back knee, if you need some cushion, roll your mat over, but find that left hip flexor. So your hands could be on the ground or on something else or on blocks. So we're just going to shift around the hips a touch. So starting with the lunge, of course you would stay here if you want to, but we could also just start to straighten the front leg, send the hips back a little bit, and maybe you've got some blocks that are light enough to move around. If they're useful, use them. If they're not, don't. Just going from a lunge to a half split, the hip to the hamstring. If you did send those hips back, straighten that right leg. Send the hips forwards again. Find your hem or your hip. Now I'll get confused between the hip and the hamstring, of course. Sink those hips forwards and down though. Breathe. And then let's send those hips back again if you'd like. Find your hamstring. Maybe that entire right leg. Push the toes down. You could point the toes up. And then coming back for our lunge. Hips forwards. Sink into them. I am going to move my blocks out of the way, just off to the side a touch. From our lunge, we're going to be coming forwards with that back foot. So if you do want to tuck the toes and lift the knee, you could, but just take an inhale to look forwards a bit and exhale, bring your back foot to the top of your mat as best as gracefully as you can. Take an inhale for a half lift once you do get there. And as you exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Your right foot can come back. The knee can come down. You might grab your blocks again, but just start by sinking into the lunge, into those hips. Feel free to roll your mat over. Breathe. Think I want to just soften through my hips a touch more. Now, should you want to send the hips back for a few moments in your half split? Send the hips back. Lengthen that left leg. Come back for your lunge. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. And one more time, sending the hips back for your half splits. Toes might be pointing up or down or somewhere in between. And let's end off in our lunge again. Bend that front knee, sink into the hip. You want to move your blocks off to the side again. If you want to lift your back knee, maybe taking an inhale to look forwards a bit there, and then exhale. Bring your back foot to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a nice half lift, and exhale. Fold forwards. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up. Maybe go ahead and interlace the fingers. Push the palms up and away. Maybe lift the chin. Stand tall. A little press of the toes into the ground, maybe. Just another inhale here, though, and an exhale to fold forwards. All the way down. Inhale into a half lift. As you exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Take both feet back this time to your downward facing dog. Press the ground away. Send your hips nice and high. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now we can move our feet together again. Maybe the right foot will lift. Maybe the knee will bend. Maybe you'll look towards the right side a little bit too, but just a nice big inhale and an exhale to come back. Drop the foot down. Inhale the left one up if you'd like. As far as you want to go. Push the ground away. Nice big inhale and an exhale to bring that foot back to the ground. Inhale to look forwards. Exhale, walk on up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a half lift once you get there. Exhale, fold forwards and pause. Widen the feet if you'd like. Let your upper body dangle. Heavy. Trying to take all that weight off of our low back. Maybe a gentle sway, maybe no movement at all. You can stay for another breath or two. And then bending the knees again. Inhale into a half lift. How long and strong can you be through your spine in your half lift? Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up. Now we're going to interlace our fingers again. Palms up. A little shrug of the shoulders, maybe. Then before you overthink anything, that left heel, it might just happen to start to float. If your gaze, if you get a little wobbly, you might start to look forwards instead of up. But that left heel could lift. You could lift the whole foot, just the knee floating forwards in front. Continue to shrug the shoulders to the ears, push the palms up and away, and then let that foot slowly come down. And your right heel could lift. Your foot could lift. Push the palms up, push the foot that's still on the ground into the ground. Make your body as long as it can be. And then let that foot, if you got a foot floating, bring it down. And then maybe you're comfortable to lift your chin and look up again. Nice big inhale though. And as you exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale into a half lift. And as you exhale, fold forwards. Plant your hands. Now we're going to take our left foot back again. And the knees coming down, so back to our lunge. If you want to bring those blocks back in, you could. But make sure that back knee's happy. Maybe lift it up, lower it down a little lighter. Maybe roll the mat over. Sink into the hips. So if you're in that lunge, now you could stay or you can send the hips back again, lengthening through the front leg. Enjoy a few breaths here. Okay, so you've got either the lunge to stay in for a little longer. You've got your half split to stay in a little longer. We can move a little bit more though. I'm going to hold on to my block. So if you want to join with me, I'm in my half split right now. I'm going to slide the foot in closer so that my lunge gets shorter. I'm going to check my back toes under, and then I'm going to scooch that knee forwards a bit too. So we're just trying to shorten the distance between the back knee and that front foot. So it's kind of like we're kneeling on just that left knee, but it's a half toe squat. You can kind of sit back on the heel if you want. You can stay lifted, or you might be enjoying that nice lunge or half split. Maybe a little toe squat that you didn't expect. Maybe holding something is helpful, maybe not. But if you did come into the toe squat, stay. Let your shoulders fall from your ears, a little more intense with one foot. Maybe, maybe not. But if you are in that half toe squat, if you're in a half split even, we're going to be kind of scooching our way back into our lunge. So maybe that means you're lifting the hips off that heel. Maybe that means you're scooching your front foot forward to your back knee back. Maybe you want to untuck those toes. Let that foot relax for a moment, resting on the top of it. But if you can end up in a lunge, well, you could move your blocks out of the way. Hands to the ground. You could tuck the toes one more time if you want to lift the knee. Take an inhale to look forwards, and then exhale. Bring your back foot up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a half lift and exhale as you fold forwards. Plant your hands and take your right foot back. Knee can come down. Blocks could come in. Set up your lunge. One side usually feels a little different than the other. If you need to make some adjustments, especially for that back knee, maybe you are staying here longer. Maybe you're sending the hips back for a few moments in your half splits. Toes up, toes down. Maybe you're staying here or going back for your lunge, or maybe you're going to scooch the front foot and the back knee a little closer together. Maybe the front foot, maybe the back knee. You can tuck those back toes under though. Find a nice stretch through them. You might end up sitting back towards that heel. You might not. You might be able to take some weight into the hands, into the block, but move your front foot and your back knees close together as you feel supported, balanced, comfortable, should you be going into the half toe squat. Wherever you happen to be, find your breath. And some nice soft shoulders. You did come for that half toe squat. However, you would like to scooch your way back to your lunge. Same with half splits. You can come back into your lunge at any time, resting back on the top of that foot. Forget about your toes for a moment. Maybe moving the blocks out of the way again. We're going to try to bring that back foot to the top of the mat though. So sometimes you got to tuck those back toes under again. Take an inhale to look forwards though. Exhale, bring your back foot to the top of your mat. Take an inhale for a half lift and exhale as you fold forwards. Inhale all the way up. Maybe interlace your fingers along the way. Push the palms up. Shrug the shoulders. Lift the chin. A little press of your toes into the ground maybe. How tall can you be? Take another inhale. And as you exhale, fold. Fold all the way down. Inhale for a half lift and exhale to fold forwards. Plant your hands. We're going to take both feet back, downward facing dog. Press the ground away. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, let your knees come down. You can find your way into child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide. Melt it down. Rest your forehead on something. Close your eyes and just take a moment to notice what is flowing throughout your body. All the way from your toes to your fingertips. Taking a few more moments here. Your knees are nice and wide. Maybe you can feel the chest trying to get a little bit closer or a little bit heavier against the ground. If you'd like to stay even longer, feel free to do so. And if you're ready to come on up, you're just gonna take a seat. Of course, take your time getting there. Maybe you want to pause in tabletop for a moment. Give your hips a little bit of a sway, side to side. We will eventually sit down. And we'll just take a moment in butterfly. So the soles of our feet can come together, knees out wide, lengthening through the spine. Maybe closing the eye. You can stay here. You could fold forwards for a few breaths. You happen to be folding forwards. Let an inhale bring you back up. And help our knees come back together. Give them a squeeze. Rock side to side. And we're going to send our legs out long. You can keep the legs together or you can go for a wide straddle. Pointing the toes up. Lengthening through the spine. Maybe stay seated nice and tall. Maybe take a little tip forwards or a little sway of the shoulders side to side. And again, just a few breaths here. Feeling the length through the leg. You are folding forward. Use an inhale to lift on up again. Maybe using the hands to help the legs come back together. Give them a squeeze. Rock side to side. And then we're going to stay seated here, but our knees will be bent and our feet will come out wider. Let's get into our shoulders. Been done our lovely chicken wing shoulder stretch in a while. I'm going to do one hand at a time. You can do both. You might have your hands by your shoulders in front of you. You might have your hands on your sides. I'm going to do one hand. So if you want to join me, take your right hand or your elbow, maybe bring it between the knee, or maybe take your hand, palm facing away to the right oblique, and then tuck that elbow into the knee. Leaning forwards a little, your other arm can do what you like. But a little lean forward. Maybe closing your eyes and just finding the breath. So if you are doing the one arm with me, you can start to slide that elbow out and release your arm back in front of you. Maybe a little shoulder roll, wrist circle. Maybe take a break with the legs in this position. But switching sides when you're ready. So just make sure palms facing away. It's on your oblique, or maybe it's in front of you, elbow in. Inside that knee as best you can. And then a little tip forward. Few moments to enjoy the stretch. Let's take just another breath here. And we can take our elbow or elbows out. You can let the arms go. You can bring the legs back together, maybe just a comfy seat of your choice for a moment. Couple shoulder rolls if you'd like. Now we're gonna come back for our butterfly. So soles of the feet together. A nice long spine. Now you have options. You can stay here. You can fold forwards like we did before. You could maybe add your right hand to your oblique with the palm facing away, a little half chicken arm. And maybe as you tip forwards or stay seated tall, but maybe if you're tipping forwards, you can see just how close that elbow gets to your knee, your calf, somewhere on your leg. Maybe you end up doing both at the same time, not really tucking the elbows in anywhere. It's more just making a nice little soft connection, perhaps. But if you're doing one arm and you're folding forwards and you want to try the other side, you can do that. Completely optional. You're folding forwards. You can start to lift back up nice and slow, especially if your hands are on your side. Let your arms be free. Shoulder rolls if you'd like. Our knees can come back together. Give them a hug. Rock side to side. And then just one more chance here. Wide legs if you'd like. If you're coming for the wide straddle, if you did before. If you're forward fold, had your legs together, you could do that too. Lengthen your spine. Maybe a tip forward. Maybe one hand or both are coming to your side. Elbows might be pointing out. You can focus on a long, strong spine here. Without your hands, you might be tipping forwards. And just seeing where those elbows maybe end up. Just an option. Maybe they hit your legs. Maybe they tap the ground. Maybe you can point your toes out. If you are doing one hand at a time, one arm, feel free to switch, see what happens. But if you are folding forwards in any sort of way, lift on up, use your core, press into the ground if your hands free right now, and then release. And shoulder rolls, maybe wrist circles, our legs can find their way back together. You can give them a hug, rock side to side. And we're just going to stay seated a little longer, but just a comfy seat. If you always sit cross-legged the same way and you're going to sit cross-legged, do the other way, the weird way, if you've got one. Hands to the knees, though, just a nice long spine. We're going to let our chin tip forwards. Bring some length into the back of the neck, and then roll your head over towards your right shoulder. And slow, gentle. Bring your chin down and roll your head to the other side. And just keep doing that if you want, if it feels good on the neck. Some neck roll. The next time your chin does come back down towards your collarbone, you could stop there and use an inhale to lift your chin up. And then we can uncross our legs again. We are going to start to lay down on our backs. You don't need any blocks or props. We'll just lay flat. But if you want to give your knees a hug or a squeeze before you do lay down, slowly find your way onto your back, though. You could hug your knees towards your chest a little longer once you're there, or keep your feet on the ground. Maybe a gentle sway side to side, or just be still. We're going to reach our arms out wide, though, and our knees are going to tip over towards the left side, setting up for our twist. You can stack your legs, cross your legs, any other twist variation that you like. Take just one more breath on this side. And you can lift your legs back up. Take a moment if you'd like, or you can start to switch to the other side. One more breath for sure. On this side, let an inhale help you. When you're ready, bring your legs back up. Roll out of your twist. You might be hugging your knees back to your chest. You might sway a few more times, side to side. Your feet can come back down to the ground if you do have them lifted. Maybe you'll keep your knees together. Maybe you'll let them fall out wide. Just feeling the ground beneath you. You can begin to extend your legs out long, your feet out wide. Find your Shavasana. And slowly start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Take a deep breath in and out. And reaching your arms above your head for a big stretch. Bending your knees. Rolling over. Finding your way up to a comfy seat when you're ready. Lengthening through your spine and maybe bringing your hands together. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you for joining me today. So good to be back. Have a great rest of the day, though, and I will see you guys very soon. Namaste.